Early Medina. These were the first communal prayer spaces in Islamic history, centered on the courtyard of the Prophet Muhammad's own home. The design was incredibly simple, with a covered area for shade supported by palm trunks and a large open courtyard for prayer and gatherings. This basic layout foreshadowed many of the essential elements in later mosques, including a distinct prayer area and a community-focused courtyard. Despite its simplicity, the Medina model established the mosque as both a place of worship and a social hub, reflecting the idea that religious life and daily life are intertwined. Umayyad. The Umayyads, ruling in the 7th and 8th centuries, expanded the courtyard concept into grand congregational mosques across the rapidly growing Islamic Empire. The Great Mosque of Damascus is one of their most renowned achievements, constructed with influences from Roman temples and Byzantine churches. They introduced formal minarets as markers of the mosque's presence, and the overall plan revolved around a large courtyard encircled by arcades. Umayyad mosques sometimes featured mosaics depicting landscapes, reflecting a transitional period when Islamic art began absorbing and reshaping older artistic traditions. Abbasid. Under the Abbasid Caliphate, which shifted the power center to Baghdad and Samarra in Iraq, mosque architecture continued to evolve. The Great Mosque of Samarra, built in the 9th century, boasted an enormous rectangular enclosure and the iconic spiral minaret that still amazes visitors today. Abbasid mosques often used brick construction and lavish stucco carvings in geometric or floral patterns, a technique that spread widely through their empire. This period saw the refinement of large-scale mosque layouts, emphasizing symmetry and monumental proportions. Persian Four-Iwan. In Persia, a distinctive Four-Iwan layout emerged during the Seljuk and Safavid eras. An Iwan is a vaulted hall open on one side, and in this style, each side of the mosque's courtyard had a prominent Iwan facing inward. The Jame Mosque of Isfahan exemplifies this design, showcasing soaring arches, intricate muqarnas vaulting, and richly colored tilework. During the Safavid dynasty, the decorative arts reached new heights, with blue and turquoise tiles forming geometric patterns or Quranic calligraphy, blending spiritual grandeur and artistic finesse. Fatimid. From the 10th to the 12th centuries, the Fatimid dynasty shaped Islamic architecture in North Africa and Egypt. Their mosques often stayed true to the earlier hypostyle format, but introduced refined decorative features such as elegantly carved stucco and wooden screens. Cairo's Al-Azhar Mosque, founded by the Fatimids, became a globally respected center of Islamic scholarship. Fatimid designs often highlighted graceful arches, subtle ornamentation, and a strong emphasis on intellectual pursuits, symbolizing the dynasty's commitment to both religion and learning. Moorish Andalusian. Spanning across North Africa and into Al-Andalus, Moorish mosques are renowned for their horseshoe arches, geometric motifs, and fluid, repetitive patterns. The Great Mosque of Cordoba started as a modest structure, but evolved into a sprawling masterpiece of columns and red and white arches that seemed to multiply endlessly. Later expansions added elaborate mihrab niches and domes with complex ribbed designs. This style's influence remains visible today in Moroccan and Andalusian architecture, blending Islamic aesthetics with regional building traditions. Mamluk. Between the 13th and 16th centuries, the Mamluks governed Egypt and parts of the Middle East, producing some of the most ornate mosques and madrasas in Cairo. They excelled in stone carving, marble inlay, stained glass, and carved wood. Mamluk minarets often featured multiple tiers with muqarnas, resembling intricate honeycomb vaulting. These mosques typically included a central courtyard, flanked by halls that served religious, educational, and social functions. The Mamluks' architectural flair showcased their wealth and devotion, resulting in an unmistakably grand and detailed aesthetic. Ottoman. The Ottomans, rising in the early 14th century, reached their architectural peak under Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent and the master builder Mimar Sinan in the 16th century. Inspired by the Byzantine Hagia Sophia, Ottoman mosques typically feature a large central dome flanked by semi-domes, creating a soaring and unified interior space. Slender, towering minarets became a hallmark, while interiors boasted colorful Iznik tiles, stained glass windows, and calligraphic panels. The Süleymaniye Mosque and the Blue Mosque in Istanbul stand as iconic examples, reflecting a confident empire that blended functionality, scale, and harmony in its sacred spaces. Mughal. From the 16th to the 19th centuries, the Mughal Empire in the Indian subcontinent fused Persian, Turkic, and local Indian elements to create monumental mosques. These structures often had vast courtyards, imposing gateways, and symmetrical layouts. Domes were large, sometimes topped with decorative finials, and crafted in white marble or red sandstone. The Jama Masjid in Delhi features 3 grand gates and 4 angle towers, while the Badshahi Mosque in Lahore showcases extensive marble inlay and finely carved motifs. Surrounding gardens and water features underscored the Mughal appreciation for landscape design as part of the worship experience. Sino-Islamic. In China, Islam arrived via trade routes like the Silk Road, leading to a unique integration of mosque design with Chinese architectural principles. Instead of domes, many mosques use traditional curved roofs and courtyard layouts. Wooden pillars, carved screens, and pagoda-inspired minarets are typical. The Great Mosque of Xi'an, for example, looks more like a classic Chinese temple from the outside, but inside, it retains the essential elements of a mosque, a prayer hall oriented toward Mecca, and a mihrab, indicating the Qibla direction. This style demonstrates Islam's adaptability to local contexts and aesthetics. Sudano-Sahelian West African. In regions like Mali and Niger, mosques took on a distinct earthen form using mud or adobe. The most famous is the Great Mosque of Djenn, with its towering facade supported by wooden beams that also serve as scaffolding for annual replastering. Thick walls insulate the interior from extreme heat, while small openings allow limited but strategic ventilation. These mosques often have a sculptural, organic quality, blending seamlessly with the surrounding Sahel environment and reflecting the deep-rooted community spirit needed to maintain them. Javanese. In Indonesia, early mosques often avoided domes in favor of multi-tiered, pyramid-like roofs, a design rooted in local timber building traditions. The Great Mosque of Demak on Java is one of the oldest, supported by 4 main wooden pillars believed to hold symbolic significance. Intricate carvings on doors or beams might represent both Islamic motifs and pre-Islamic heritage. These structures often emphasize open, breezy spaces to suit a tropical climate and highlight how Islam merged with indigenous architectural practices in Southeast Asia. Indo-Saracenic Colonial-Era. During colonial times in places like India, Malaysia, and Singapore, mosque architecture combined Islamic elements with European influences. Minarets and domes coexisted with neo-Gothic arches or neoclassical columns. British or Dutch architects sometimes hired local craftsmen, resulting in eclectic blends of Western and Eastern styles. The result was a new wave of mosques that preserved Islamic symbolism while reflecting the changing political and cultural landscape under colonial rule. National mid-20th century. After achieving independence, many Muslim-majority countries built national mosques to showcase modern identity. The National Mosque of Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur has a striking star-shaped concrete roof, while Pakistan's Faisal Mosque takes inspiration from Bedouin tents, creating a dramatic mountain-like silhouette. These mosques used contemporary materials such as reinforced concrete and steel, while still incorporating references to local heritage. They often feature enormous prayer halls, broad plazas, and iconic minarets that symbolize the aspirations of newly independent nations. Modern experimental. In the late 20th century, technological advances allowed for more daring mosque designs. Architects played with shapes, introducing glass facades, curtain walls, and abstract domes. The Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca stretches partly over the Atlantic Ocean, boasting one of the world's tallest minarets. Such large-scale construction showcased engineering feats, with retractable roofs and laser-lit minarets pushing the boundaries of mosque design. At the same time, traditional motifs like calligraphy and geometric patterns persisted, keeping ties to heritage. Eco-friendly. In response to environmental concerns, a growing number of mosques focus on sustainability. They incorporate solar panels, efficient air circulation, and locally sourced materials, reducing energy consumption. Courtyards and strategic shading can help keep interiors cool in hot climates. These eco-conscious designs align with the Islamic principle of stewardship over the earth, showing how faith-based architecture can adapt responsibly to modern ecological challenges. Futuristic. In certain Gulf states and major cities worldwide, mosques are being built as high-tech landmarks. Architects use cutting-edge materials like steel, glass, or composite panels to create bold silhouettes that might feature illuminated exteriors, retractable canopies, or interactive digital installations. These sites often stand at the heart of new urban developments, merging the spiritual function of a mosque with a striking symbol of progress. Despite their ultra-modern appearance, they maintain core elements such as a Qibla orientation, a prayer hall, and space for community gatherings, demonstrating how tradition and innovation can coexist in contemporary Islamic architecture. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite style below. Did I miss any styles? Let me know. I'd love to hear what else should be on the list.